Well, hey, Zeta Nation, the Elite Circle. I've got Triple Diamond Britten McDowell here at the house. We've been investing a couple of hours here. I will say we have been reminiscing a little bit about the Team Elite culture and how we went from a $5 million to a $100 million company in around the 24 month range. And we're really just talking about how exciting the timing is for all of you right now. Whether you're new, you're just getting started, you've been in, this is an exciting time. What do you say, Britten?
Well, you know, Chris, we're at a time where, for those of us that are the old heads, we've been around, we've never seen anything like this. You know, you got this square, right? And I remember the day that the time that we caught some momentum. I've got my square on right there.
Who else got their square on? Put it in the comments if you got the square on.
If you're wearing the square, you know, drop a 1 if you got your square on.
Come on.
But you know, the closest thing we came to that was this little capsule they released, and then the weight management system that came out to it. And so, you know, that stuff was complicated. I mean, you had to teach people about nutrition and what they weren't getting in their diet, and you had to say, hey, you can do this, it's 3 steps, and people were like, 3 steps? You know, they had to take their shoes off to count to 3 sometimes.
In Kentucky, man.
Well, it is what it is. We've been all over the place, you know. But this is easy. You just pull it off, you pick it, you stick it, you feel better. You know,
absolutely.
Inner arm, back and neck, lower back. You know, some of you I know get a little more exotic in your location, the placement of your square, and that's cool. Whatever floats your boat, whatever works best for you. But I'm gonna stick to my arm or my neck. But you know, this has been something revolutionary. And I know in my almost 11 years in this company.
Whoa. So we're going to talk about that probably towards the end of this call, but maybe you put in the comments a little 1-1 for 11, because most people have never, these professional network, oh, I'm a professional, man. They've been in maybe 10 companies for 2 years. I've been in the industry for 20 years, but they've been in 10 companies for 2 years. We're talking about a guy been in the same company going on 11 years. He's steadfast, he's committed, he's a warrior. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I did want to point that out. 11 years, folks. And I do want to remind you real quick, last few hours here, plenty of time. Hours in network marketing is like months in typical time. So
that's the truth.
What can you do in the next few hours? You can make some more sales. You can recruit some more people. You can help some people rank advance. So don't stop. Keep the pedal to the metal, hair on fire, bull by the horn. Do it, go. And what can happen in the next few hours can change, literally, can change your life. And the reason I know that is because Britten and I have been game planning, and the reminiscing helps us talk about some of the things we used to do and should continue to be doing. And we've been doing that for a couple of weeks. We say, man, let's do it live because people need to hear your story. I forget that some of you are so new. Some of you, you're so new, you don't even have your people on this page, and they don't even know my story, which isn't about me, but it is important about the story. People don't know Britten McDowell. This is a guy who years ago went from gold to double diamond, and you put this down, I think that was 84?
86.
86 days. How'd he do it? We're going to talk about it.
Hang on, Chris. Let's break this down. I've been around so long that when I joined Zeta, when I got involved, I didn't know what I was doing. I got my bill on my credit card, and it was $150 more than what I thought it was going to be because I got charged an enrollment fee and shipping and all this stuff. Because, you know, the shipping was astronomical because it was just a little green can. It was like that big. But the night that I enrolled, Chris Estes was a bronze that morning, and he was a silver that night.
Come on!
Silver. I enroll, and I get on this phone call, and I meet this guy that's an upline, and then I meet this other guy named Chris. Rodney Arms did the presentation, and Rodney is, you know, thankfully he's improved too. But, you know, Chris is like, hey, we're glad to have you on the team, and I really didn't know what I'd done. I just thought I was buying some product, but hey, you know, but you were silver when I enrolled.
Unbelievable.
You know,
there you go. Who is moving to silver tonight, or is bronze, or moving to bronze? That's where I was when we welcomed Britten to Zeta back in 2008. And so now look at what's happened to Britten. Triple diamond, many hundreds of thousands of dollars, and many thousands of people that's been impacted. Let's talk about your story for a minute. and just go rapid fire. I want people to know 2008, what happened, and then what's happening now. How can we relate that moment to now? And is it easier now, harder now? I'm gonna let you just go with it.
Well, I signed up in 2008, and I'm not teachable, not coachable.
No.
Hey,
listen, this is a stubborn bull. He's got the better one. He's smart, number one, and listen. Make sure your smart people watch this live, because this is a very smart dude, and he was smarter than everybody else, especially his PE coach here.
I won't say which PE teacher it was that called me, but it wasn't this one. He asked me one day. He said, "Hey, how big was your check this week?" I said, "I don't know. I didn't get one." And he said, "Well, mine was bigger." I said, "Well, how big was it?" He said, "Didn't matter. I got one. You didn't." He said, "So you need to learn how. You need to come to this training I'm doing, because I showed that I was committed, because I decided I was going to be successful. I just didn't know how." But I signed up and got enrolled in 2008. Started using the product. Now this is before weight management, guys. I'm a 425 pound beast drinking a 5.5 ounce can. I could hold the can in my hand and you couldn't see it. I mean, it's like gone. But I struggled and had some temptations. Oh yeah, here we go. See, where's the can? There's the can. Where's the can? See, to go with that. And I'm sitting here looking like a nightmare trying to sell a dream about health and wellness, but I start using the product, it starts working for me. Using weight, not nearly enough, but we start having some success and some results, and I get excited. We hammer away. I think it was whenever we had the big conference in Louisville, I hit silver. That was the first Team Elite conference. I remember it was at the Marriott, but I don't remember what year. Maybe it was 2009. I don't know. But anyhow, so to keep plugging along, I finally decided to get serious. I hit gold in the spring of 2010, and we're sitting here, and in 2010. There's a little bit of stuff going on. We've got weight management. I've dropped some weight. I think all in total I've lost over 100 pounds. And very thankful for what the products have done for my life.
Give it up for BM. That's Britten McDowell.
That's me.
He lost a fifth grader.
A fifth grader, yeah, and maybe a third grader too.
Maybe.
But we're sitting there and we're doing a lot of work. We're road warrioring it up. Chris and I are on the road together. Rodney and I are on the road together, and we're going to people. Now this.
Whoa, that's actually a great point here. I'm going to pause him from time to time, because what is he doing? Like, if you're catching it, what you should have is a glove so you can catch the clues, so you can catch the breadcrumbs, because he's throwing nuggets right now, pearls, that you can catch to implement into your business. What he talked about was road warrioring and tandeming and teaming up. He talked about it not just being him, but really basically having a foxhole buddy.
Well, the time together, guys, when you're spending time together, you're learning from each other, you're stretching each other's vision, you're showing commitment, you're doing all the things that it takes to create a great team. And there's no replacement for that. And so we're on the road and we're doing that. And, we go do a meeting. We stop, I remember one day Chris and I, we stopped in Madisonville, we stopped in Eddyville, we stopped in 3 places, did a meeting in Mayfield, and then we worked all the way back. And that wasn't a one-time occurrence, but I would set them up and he'd come knock them down. And some days we go, and I know we made that trip a couple of times, and we go over.
Yep.
And then we go to another.
We're trying to forget those.
Well, no, but those are important though, because those trips we went over, nobody signed up. I have the Chris Estes. This is the guy that was a teacher, a coach. He's making $10 grand a month, and people's minds are completely like. They have no clue what that means, but they're like, he's doing that with this company, and how's that working? But here's the thing: we go over one trip, but then when I go back and follow up, people had thought and they marinated. They're watching, they're seeing what we were doing, and they got excited. And they wanted to be a part of that. They wanted, they worked their lives away, and they never get recognized. They never do anything that helps them be significant. And they see that they all of a sudden they could be the person that add. Hey, think about it. What if you share that right there with somebody, and they're in horrible pain. They're a 10 on the pain scale every single day, and that patch knocks them to a 6. We give them half of their life back. That's what significance is.
Well, and I want you to hit on real quick, because he just hit we call it the fortune, and maybe I'll follow up, or I just said it. The follow up is the fortune, we say, but you talked about the over. Wow. You just had, Joel just went into the market, or this person just went into the market. You and I went into the market. We hit these multiple people that we thought were excited. They didn't join right then at the moment. But that follow-up meeting, that follow-up call, is where the magic happened.
Absolutely.
And most people leave that on the table.
Well, yeah, you got to follow up 4, 5, 6 times. If somebody says, hey, Britten, I'm interested in what you're doing, I want to look at the information. They have just given you permission to pursue them until they tell you, if you talk to me about this one more time, I'm never going to talk to you again. Then you follow up one more time. Because we know truth goes through 3 stages. First it's rejected, and then it's ridiculed, and then it's adamantly rejected, or actually it's denied, and then they come around. And so, and that people will tell you where they're at on that. But if we're listening and we're doing those things, we have to have that level of persistence. One thing I'm going to tell you guys, and this gets into my story a little bit, but I was a history teacher and a football coach. I come from Campbellsville University, which has more football people coaching football in the state of Kentucky than any other institution. I have a network that spanned the entire state of Kentucky and much of the Southeast. And the first time that I had ever been exposed or approached for network marketing was Zija. So this is a guy that has hundreds or thousands of contacts, and nobody said, that's the guy I need to blow up my business. That's the guy I'm going to recruit. The first time I'd ever even knew what network marketing was, I heard Rodney Arms present it, and it's because Herb Wiseman had invited me. That's a clue of how bad my skill set was and how uncoachable I was.
Oh, but you were so smart and knew everything, man.
But I had a knack for being right. And I did say that Zija was a winner. I just had to figure out how I was going to win with Zija, right? But that kind of goes into that and what we look at, and understanding that process. That a lot of times we go over, but you got to look at it like this: if you know the winter's coming and you got a fireplace, we burn wood in a fireplace. We're going to cut down trees, and we may stack that wood, but we don't know when we're going to burn it. We don't know when we're going to need it, and that's why a lot of our activities that yield results, they're invisible. And so we just got to keep doing the deal, doing those IPAs, those impact or income producing activities, and know that eventually that compound effect will kick in and things will take that upswing. But now there's a rub to that too, because if you're not doing those things, then that compound effect will kick in and you'll tank, because we know that momentum takes the stairs to the top and it takes the elevator to the bottom.
That's right.
And Darren Hardy talks about one of the principles. I'm actually using it in my workouts right now. I know people are like, this guy's huge. He works out. I said, I lift about every day. Not real big on cardio, but hey, if I'm running, then you need to be running too, because something's chasing me. I'm not going to be out running and biking and swimming, but I'm going to push some weight and I'm going to do some things like that. But one of the things that he talks about is that if you have a number, let's say that Chris, that we have 3 calls today that we got to make. We're going to because we know that 3 a day brings freedom my way.
That's right.
We're going to talk to 3. Well, he says there's value. There's value in doing a little bit extra. He says that if you do the 3, you're supposed to get what you get. But he says actually just doing the minimum actually has a negative impact, because if you only do the 3, but let's say we up that by 30% and we do 4, then we have upped and accelerated our turn. But then if we only do 2, then we have double our negative. And even doing the same can have a negative impact. So that's why it's so important to do those little things every day, because that's that consistency is what leads to success. Activity.
Well, that's a slight edge we're talking about. That compound effect.
That's right.
That's an apple a day brings success your way. It's that whole process of doing that little bit more, little extra, little bit more.
And so
that's what you did. I mean, in the end, people go, well, Britten, if we were to look at Britten's business in 2008, we would maybe say one word: suck. It was kind of sucky.
It didn't exist.
And maybe you didn't even get to it was just suck. And then in 2009 it went to suck.
Yep.
But what happened was you were slowly humbling yourself to be a part of the system, be a part of the process. You knew it was a winner. And once you got out of that stubborn and you got focused on the system, what happened is he started to see some results. Nothing crazy, but he was starting to do those activities, right?
But people were watching too. There was people that I had prospected in 2008 that knew I was terrible, but they watched, and then I'd lost some weight. I'd hit the rank of gold. I'd had some success. I was making some money, and they started watching.
And here's something else I would say that you've already caught on to with the words he's projecting, which is this guy's read some books. This guy's listened to some podcasts. This guy's been to some events. This guy has continued to be a habitual learner. So he could be a continual winner. That's what Britten McDowell has done. So in 2010, people who looked at him in 2008 and 2009, like, that looks like Britten. But Britten looks like a winner. It looks like a thoroughbred. I thought he was a he-haw in 2008. He's a little dumb, but this guy's a thoroughbred. And what went from suck to suck, to succeed. He went to the seed part in 10. You started building that momentum. Maybe talk about, like, how in the world does somebody go from gold to double diamond in 86 days? How many of you all would like to go to gold to double diamond? How many of you would like to go from Builder 500 to emerald in 86 days? How many of you? Hopefully you would say, yeah, me. But Britten, talk to me about it.
First, Chris, let's talk about what we didn't have.
Yeah,
okay?
let's do it.
Let's talk about what we didn't
Let's
have.
do it.
Okay, we didn't have a revolutionary, industry-disrupting product that you put on, that somebody puts on, and immediately can begin to feel better, think better, be better. We didn't have that. We didn't have crazy competitions for incentives to go out there.
Who's Zija won?
That's right. I'm qualified for that.
Come on. I'm like 5 points away, man.
We'll get there. I know.
That's why I have him over here. I'm like, man, how you do it? How you do it?
We game plan. So we didn't have Zija 1. We didn't have CBD. We didn't have an event in the middle of July coming up. The Summit to You. I'm going to Louisville. Who's coming with me? I know that's where this guy's going to be. I know that we got about 200 of our closest friends, and there's a few other people I know that they're talking about they're going to have the biggest ones. I got news flash, ain't happening.
Hey, we want you to try, though. Come on now.
Second place, there is no shame in second place to our event in Louisville. That's okay. But we didn't have those things. We didn't have social media. We had cell phones, but we didn't have social media. But what we did have was and this has been a backbone of my business. I use social media every day. But it's not my business. It's just how I grow my business. And what I mean by that is I use this to meet, reconnect, catch up with, find out where people are so I can meet them where they're at.
Ooh, say that again. And what you're saying, what he's saying here, folks, so I can interpret this, is a tool. He's using it as a tool. But say what you just said so they can write it in their notes.
A lot of times we don't do the recon. We don't build the ships. We have to find out where people are in their lives, in their businesses, in their health, in their wellness, in their relationships. We have to find out where they are so we can meet them where they're at. Because that's ultimately, one of our hashtags is plant-based solutions,
that's right?
And we need to find out what we have because, Rodney Arms taught me really early in this business. He said, some will, some won't. And he said, so what? And that's great advice, but he left out a part because he said there's some, and I have this on there, there's some that are waiting. And if we don't build those relationships, if we don't find out where they are, we can't offer them what they are looking for.
So true.
And that is the key to be able to make that connection and do that. So in the summer of 2010, I had worked on those connections. My personal life was falling apart. I don't make any qualms about it. That's a story for another day. But in typical Britten fashion, when things are going bad in one area, I focus on where they're going good and I make it better. And so I spent a lot of time traveling, building, getting those invisible results. We have got all this now that we can be doing the same thing and just much more go and push. Because hey, when we did that, in 2010, the company was about $25 million a year. We're 5 times that now, and that just means the bigger it is, the more momentum we can create to go with that. And so we plugged away and we did that. And the key to that growth, that rapid expansion, was simple. It was activities that led to results. And what were those activities? Peak, Pass, Plug. We were promoting.
Whoa! You're telling me almost 10 years ago you were taking action, so activity.
Yeah.
It was not just activity; it was income-producing activity.
Hey, Chris.
And you were peeing on people.
Yeah, 85% of people in network marketing never make a list. They never write their list down. Y'all see what that is? I don't know if you can see the names or not. That's
wow.
I got it. Why do I have this? You know why I have this with me? Because we were talking about people on this list and how to approach them.
Hey, what's funny is I picked yours up a minute ago because I have one just like it.
So we just built that and we got a group going. I found a leader that led to a lot of more people, and we started doing some fundamentals. We were doing press play DVD home presentations. We had Chris on a 10-minute overview. We pressed play. We got out of the way, and then we asked people, said, "Hey, you want to be a customer? You want to be a distributor? You want to help other people? What are your goals?" And we helped them develop a plan to meet their goals.
So what you're saying, this is important because it wasn't just Britten going out there, and he was going out there. You heard examples of you and I both going out there at the same time. Why didn't you just, but there's power in us working together. It wasn't just us working together, though. We had taught a bunch of other people to do a little bit. You get a bunch of people to do a little bit, what do you get? A lot.
That's right.
You get Big Mo coming into your town, and that's what happened for Britten.
Well, and I want to tell you guys, the power of results, this is something that you need to know. And Chris, I don't know if you remember this or not, but do you remember how many events I went and did after August 3rd? Up until I hit double diamond in November.
I really don't.
You don't know?
I don't.
I can tell you. 0.
Whoa! So I want you to talk about that for a second.
So I'm talking about how many was Britten physically present for in that entire time.
So tell me.
Hotel presentations, home presentations. The only event that I attended was we had a big regional event in Franklin, Tennessee. I just hit Emerald, and I'd been there. But that was the only event I had been to. Why? Because at this point in time, I'm a single dad. My son goes to bed at 8 o'clock at night, and so from 8 o'clock to midnight, I was working the phones, and I was in a ton of meetings because people were pushing play and getting started, and I was answering questions. I was being the expert. I was helping people get trained with fast start trainings. I was doing those things. I was ever present in my business because of technology, not because I was physically there. Because I was teaching school, I was coaching football, I was the offensive coordinator, I was the head assistant
So
coach.
what you're saying is you were busy.
Busy is an understatement.
Just like many people that are watching, or many of your prospects or your new people that hopefully will watch this later on, and they can relate to Britten because he was super busy. But how did Britten go from, he had created some movement from gold to emerald. Now he's moving and getting ready to double jump from emerald to diamond to double diamond. The guy doesn't, and you know, he was out there and had been working the roads, working and knowing the colors of the carpets of the people that he was presenting to, but he had that moment in that time where school was starting, coaching was starting, his kid was having to deal and work and make sure he's provided for his kids. And what he had done though is he had been the example. He had shown the way of press and play, get out of the way, and you had multiples of people that are Builder 200s, Builder 500s, 1000s going to their prospects' homes doing the press and play.
Well, and also too, there was also some big events that went on during that time. But like I said, guys, we have a team. We have people that, you know, we mean it when you say you're in business for yourself but not by yourself. Because I had people that were working with my people. I took my people, and they were plugged into people that were doing way more than I was. And they were learning, and I outsourced my leadership development in my organization to guys like Chris Estes, to guys like Rodney Arms, that were going out there, that were doing the deal. And so my people were learning from them. They were learning from me. We didn't miss team calls. We didn't do those things. And then we were doing the simple, duplicatable things.
So you're saying you created a cadence, if you will.
Absolutely.
You had team calls. You had team events. You had your fundamental daily events that were happening. You had fast start calls to train people up, to make calls and overcome their fears. And of course, but Britten has, just like anybody else that's been in any business for a period of time, has grown through the adversities that you have in business and in life. And of course, he goes out, knocks it out, builds and impacts thousands of people. And here we are now. We've spent some time together, talked, and game planned, and we've evolved. And we're talking though about now. So this story's great, and hopefully you applaud that story because it's inspiring. And he threw nugget. But here we are, Britten, on a Friday Night Lights, an opportunity for people to win, an opportunity for people to get value with products, value for their customers, value for some future customers, meaning getting, and I've never been, and you would say this, I've never been an inventory trainer. Right. In fact, that's one of the things I loved about this, is that the product ships from our warehouse to your house. But I will say, and I've said this I think once or twice before as it relates to our In-Tune product, this is a product you want to have on hand. You want to have multiples of this product because of the easiness or simple process of the stickiness.
That's right.
That's happening.
And with this promo we've got as it wraps up, this is what I would encourage, and I've encouraged my people to do is, you buy two, you get one free. So, you want to be a product of the product, right, Chris? You got to know what it does. You got to know how it benefits that. So then you take another one of those boxes and you cut it up into 3-day samples, and maybe you move those 3 for 20, and then you pay for the first 2, and then you've got a free box. And then, and some of those people that sample that, then you can take that free box and help somebody else get started and do a give and go. And because this is one of the things, guys. There's all kinds of science, there's videos, there's all the things out there. And we live in a world today where people don't make sound, rational decisions. They don't. They don't do it because A plus B equals C. That's not why they make their decision. They like C because maybe they like how they feel when they draw the C. They make emotional decisions. And when the product's on somebody's hands, that feeling that they get is a great way, is a great tool, is a great thing to do, because we know that facts tell, but what sells?
Stories sell.
The stories sell. And with this promo, we have the opportunity to drive home volume. I looked at my first cycle one, or last period cycle one, and then I went back to January cycle one, and I don't even know, I can't even count that high the percentage growth that we're seeing right now to do. But I know from last cycle one, we're about 3 times, 300%. I think that's how you do the math.
Not bad.
So that's exciting from that standpoint. But we're in a situation, guys, where it's pivotal. We can get people started. People get started. They, somebody says, "Hey, I want to be a customer." Okay, great. Get 2, use one for a spouse, sample one, pay for those. Get a story. Use this product, and it does it no good if you got it sitting on a shelf or sitting in a closet somewhere. The only way that this promo explodes your business, explodes my business, explodes our business is if we take what we get and we get it in people's hands.
Boom.
That's the key. Because like I said, this is something that's simple. My 82-year-old mama told her friend about her patch, and she gave her some to use. My mother-in-law, same way. This is literally, my daughter, she's 11. She's really smart. She's way smarter than me. She's, if y'all follow my Facebook page, you know that Georgia's always got great things to say. Somebody was talking about a problem the other day, and she looks at them in her way. Of course, she's 5'8", so she actually kind of looked down at the lady. She goes, "I think you need some of my dad's CBD patches," and then just turns around and walks off. But getting this product in people's hands is what's going to cause that next level of growth. And as we work towards the summit on July 20th, new product launch coming on. This is a staging for us to bring in new people, create new stories, and get them ready to do the same thing with what we've got coming down the road.
Love it. So as we close down here, Britten, I just want you to share any final words that you have. This is a guy who has been committed through the ups, and certainly there's been downs, the peaks, and there's certainly been valleys and ebbs and flows, and people that have left and people that have called and tried. Come on, Britten, man, come on. So there was no one trying to get him into network marketing before he got into network marketing, but once he got in and started having success, he has gotten the tub in the pool. Come on, Britten, come on, man, it's greener over here, man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I got a couple of really good inappropriate things I could say, but I'm gonna say this: wherever you go, there you are. And your crap's going to follow you very quickly. And and here is the very simple thing here, guys. I was taught early in this business: focus, follow one course until successful. I was taught loyalty. I was taught by one of my mentors a very simple principle: how people come to you is how they will leave you. As you're building this business, if you focus on solid relationships, you focus on world-class products, and you focus on things that other people can't duplicate, they can't offer, they can't replicate, you're going to build a team that's going to be people that are loyal to you, they're loyal to your brand, they're loyal to what you got going on. And as far as those other guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to drop a pearl. If it hurts somebody's toes because I step on them, good. I don't care. You can come say what you want to with me. That's one of the things I'm known for, is I have this thing called the truth hammer, and I swing it willingly. Chris, you've seen those guys that they always talk about, that they go to these seminars and they come back and they talk about they're going to build their brand, right? They're going to build their brand. If somebody's focusing on building their brand, how can they focus on helping you build your business?
Ooh, maybe you rewind that and put that in your notes.
If you're working with somebody and they're talking about building their brand, how can they help you build your business? Because last time I checked, this business was about servant leadership. It was about giving people your time, your efforts, and your talents to help them get where they want to be.
It's good.
I can't focus on me and you at the same time. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. There's all these people out there, and they're talking all kinds of garbage and noise, and they're talking about, oh, do this and do that. Get your blog, get your website. Guys, be a good person. Listen to people. offer a hand to help and do the right thing. And I promise you, your business will take care of itself, because Zija doesn't pay you necessarily for what you do, but it will reward you for the life you've lived.
It's good. Hey, listen, a bunch of bombs here. A bunch of bombs. Maybe put the bombs in the comment. We got Britten McDowell here. I want to take a few more minutes of my own time with him before he leaves me. But y'all give some kudos to Britten as he shared so many great pearls. And like you said, service to others leads to greatness. Are you serving others? Are you focusing on others? Are you just looking at what rank can I be? Of course, you want to have your goals, but if I'm focusing on you, Britten, if I'm helping you rise up, what happens to me is I naturally rise up. So let's focus on our people.
You know, Chris, I had somebody teach me this one time, and it took a long time to sink in. But, you know, big rank in our company, a huge rank's Diamond Elite, right? You know, and there's all kinds of qualifications and everything else like that. Well, if you want to be a Diamond Elite, you just got to help 5 people be Emerald. You help 5 people be Emeralds, and you'll be a Diamond Elite. And every rank we've got, you can look at and you can break it down. I want to be gold. Okay, that's great. You help 4 people be Builder 500, and you'll be a gold. And that, you know, you need to look at your ranks, and as we set those things, don't look at what you get, but look at who you can help. You know, who you can help get where they want to be, and that will get you where you want to be.
Who we gonna get up to the top?
And
this week?
We have. What time is it?
It's game time. It's what it is. It's game time.
It's 3:30.
There's people say, Britten, what do you do? What do you do? Britten, what do you do? He says, I do whatever it takes. Are you going to do whatever it takes tonight? Let's do it. Finish strong.